my name is Marcy. I am a crafter from northern Wisconsin. This video is a floss tube, which will also include knitting and crochet in addition to my cross stitch. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. And if you are a returning friend, welcome back. It is very nice to have you all here with me today. It's been a minute since I last recorded a floss tube, and I didn't mean for such an extended break. Work got crazy busy, and then I got sick. And that took me about a week to get over, and after that, I still had the sniffles and coughs, and I figured nobody wanted to hear that, so I just delayed on recording. And then last week I was on vacation, and it hit the 12-week mark before last anticipated frost date for my area. So I am now getting busy with starting seeds and plants. So some of those videos will start getting mixed in with what I regularly do. I put out a seed starting video this past weekend, and I wanted to say thank you to all those who watched it and took the time to leave a comment for me. It is very much appreciated, and I love interacting with everybody. And since it has been a minute since I last recorded, the show notes that I wrote when I last meant to record are woefully out of date. I decided I was not going to rewrite show notes, so I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this one. Yeah, so just did the life update. Work was busy, then I got sick, and now it's hopefully back to normal. Although, what is normal but a setting on the washing machine, as my friend Coggie would say. So I have some finished projects that I want to share first. I have one cross stitch works in progress. I will share some knitting and crochet stuff that I have going, and then I'm thinking for a minute. I've got some sewing stuff that I want to share as well. And then I have some things that arrived in the mail, some things that I won, and a couple things that I ordered, 2 or 3 things. So let me kind of get my bearings here, and I will get started. First thing I want to share is a project that I started on January 1st of this year, and I finished it on February 8th of this year. It is Portrait of a Snapping Turtle by Mudpuppy Stitchery. I purchased it from Kenzie's Etsy store. The fabric is Ada Hobby Lobby in the toast colorway, which is like a medium brown. Fabric count is 14 count, and floss I used is there. I did this as a model stitch for Kenzie. I contacted her and said that I'd like to do a model stitch for her, and which ones did she still need. And the snapping turtle was one that I had in my chart collection, and I've been wanting to make this ever since I purchased it. So if I have a photo of my past, of where I was last, I will insert it here. And here is the finished project. Isn't he cute? This was a very fun stitch for me. It was kind of like potato chip stitching for me. I really got a kick out of doing the outline of the shell first, And then I went in and color completed all of that. And then I started working on the outline of the turtle. And then I kind of bounced around a little bit with some of the colors. And when I finished the face, I think I shared that on social media. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I like the color choice that I made. I chose the color choice because I felt like pretty blues were not really appropriate for a snapping turtle because they like to live in muddy water. So that was my first finish of the year, maybe. I think so, yeah. All right, so then the second thing I want to show is a stitch along that I did with Penn over at Stitching with My Kitties. This was a birthday sale for her. I'm looking for the project bag because everything's a hot mess here. It is February Cat by, for all the times that I typed this out, Happiness is Heartmade. I used the Call for Colors. Fabric was 14 count. And I didn't write a project card for this one, so I'm a little not prepared for this one. Everything will be in the show notes. I know I typed everything up and included it with any post that I did with this on social media. Let me get back to where I was. Okay, so this was a birthday sale for Patty. I won the chart actually from her channel end of last year, I think. And then she mentioned that she wanted to do this for her birthday and would I be interested in it? And I said, yeah. This was a really quick stitch and she stitched it super fast too, but I thought I would be enjoying this one for the whole month of February, and I think she was done in like 7 or 10 days. And then I thought, oh, I better get going on this. So fabric is a blue. The chart has a deceptive number of colors to it. I think I had 12 colors for this. Went super quick. I enjoyed the stitch. And it was so satisfying to finish each element as I went along. I thought about not doing February. Then I changed my mind and decided to go ahead and do it. And then I would have something to put out every February with the few Valentine stitch stuff items I have. I think I'm gonna turn this into a pillow or a flat fold. I haven't decided yet. I haven't created a flat fold yet, so that would be something brand new for me. But this one is my second finish of the year. And then the last finish I have, I'm extremely proud of, and this one is a little bit more involved in talking about. Last year, I'm gonna try to get everybody correct. Holly of Hobbies of Holly, Sarah of Sarah Stitchy Spot, Judy Stitching Bunny, and another gal named Marcy who, as far as I know, has no social media presence. They were all doing a birthday sale because they all have birthdays in the month of June. And I think Holly and I both share the same birthday. And every time she mentioned Marcy, when she was talking about the upcoming sale, it kept catching my ear, of course, because At the time, there were not too many Marcies being mentioned, and now it seems like Marcy is the name of the year or something. I follow a channel where one of the dogs' names is Marcy. There was a Marcy on one of that homes.com commercials and somewhere else too. I can't remember, but yeah, suddenly Marcy's everywhere. So the chart we decided to do, I'm looking for my project card and bag, was a daily reminder by Brenda Gervais. Well, somebody in that group chose it, and when they said, yeah, join us, when I said I had a June birthday too, I ordered the chart from Farm Girl Dry Goods. This is what the chart looks like. Okay, reading off the thing. Daily reminder, I started it June 25th, 2025. I finished it February 28th, 2026. I wanted to complete it before the end of the month, and I wasn't sure I was gonna do it, but I came in clutch at the end. Designer is Brenda Gervais. Purchased Farm Girl Dry Goods, 14 count Aida that I dyed. It's brown with green splashes, and I did my own conversion of the colors, pulling from stash. I don't have all the numbers written down on my card yet. I will try to get all of the colors that I use listed in the show notes. I'm just so proud of this one. Ready? Here we are. Oh, let's see. Put it back a little bit. Oh my gosh. It just makes me smile when I see it. And I swear the white pops better than it does in real life. But yeah, I chose all the colors myself. White because I thought that would look really good for the alphabet. The flowers they remind me of these yellow flowers that we get in the ditches on the side of the road every summer. So I chose that. This color I chose because I thought it looked like a good basket color. Red for the flowers because I love red flowers. And then of course green for these and that. Gray, that's not going to show quite as well. Gray for the bunny because Pfeffer is gray. We have a bun named Pfeffer. And then I used kind of a off-white in the little bits there. And even though there was no eye in the chart, I decided to put an eye on there. Red for the house because I live in a red house. I ended up going with, this is a Weeks Dye Works, I think. And then brown for the door, white for the windows. This, and I'm not I was really hoping that would show up on film, but this is that sparkly etoile I had. I thought the peacock would look really grand in blue. I struggled with this peacock. I think third time, I had to rip it out and stitch it 3 times before I didn't have any errors in it. I kept messing up. And then when I was done, I thought to myself, you know what would have looked really cool? Is if I had done a single strand each of blue and a green in the tail and where the feather is supposed to be, and then the little bit for the crest. I think that would have looked really cool. And then, you know, closer to what the colors of peacock. This is, what's that, threadworx? A threadworx leftover I had from a Lindy Stitches project for Bird Crush. for the Bird Crush. I chose this orange, well, for one, because it's such a bright color, but also I grow zinnias in the garden, and that is such a pretty color in the height of summer, and it works really well with this. I originally thought I would do the color, the words here and the letters here in a gold color. The color I chose, it washed out too much with the fabric, which was pretty disappointing. The idea of using the gold was not necessarily that this is the golden rule, but, you know, be good and do good, you know, be a good person. So I went with the color that I used for the roof and the tree trunks for that one. And then Sarah, Northwood Stitcher, you'll be very pleased to know that I did put my initials and the year at the bottom, although you can't really see it here. I'll probably throw a picture of it after this so you can get a better look at everything. But yeah, I am extremely proud of it, and I will frame it myself. I will have to find a 13 by 13 frame, or my husband said that he might try his hand and make a frame for me himself if he can find the necessary bits for it. I have one current cross stitch whip right now, and I just started it on March 1st. This is a stitch along that I'm doing with Alison over at Miss AZ Family Zoo and Mair over at Sin City Cross Stitcher. Here's my little notes. It's Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt. I purchased this chart way back when it first came out from Fat Quarter Shop, 2021. The fabric I'm using is 14 count Aida, probably stuff that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. When I first saw the chart, I could very easily see it on white fabric instead of whatever the call for is, which is slightly off-white. This is what the chart looks like. It has been out for a while. I think I was chatting with Alison on her last Floss Tube video, and she mentioned this, and I said, hey, I have that. And she mentioned that Mair had it as well as maybe a whip, and we decided to, well, no, I guess that wouldn't make sense if she's starting it too. Backtrack. Alison started it. I'm not sure if she's restarting it. Her mom is gonna do the stitch along with us as well. And I started it March 1st. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm not saying things in the order that I should be saying them, probably because I'm just so excited, but I'm very self-conscious when I'm talking on the, I almost said radio, on the video. I feel much more comfortable expressing myself in word. Did I show this already? I think I did. So I have had this kitted up since 2021 when it first came out. I ordered the floss tags way back when, and the colors are so pretty. And I kitted up another Lori Holt chart, and I noticed that I think she definitely sticks to a certain color palette. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It just caught me by surprise when I realized I was basically kitting up I had two Lori Holt charts kitted up at the same time. Anyways, this will live in this bag that I stitched myself. And here's my progress so far. I did just enough to get it started and I could share on the social media. I'm starting on this flower right here. Alison took the time to create a schedule for us so we could have this done in 1 year. I'm really curious to see how long it takes me to do each section. I am a fan of block stitching. I think the Amazon man is coming, so I am going to pause this until he's gone. Okay, I am back. For anybody who was curious and who watched my garden video, you'll be happy to know I did order some ghost pepper seeds, so those will get planted this week. All right, next thing I want to share is my yarn crafting projects. First thing I want to show kind of an update on is my Battenberg blanket that I'm doing a crochet along with Leann over at Leann Stitches. I am, well, sorry, my sim just needed to reset. I am using size H, which I don't remember how many millimeters that is, to make my squares with worsted weight yarn. I am doing 3 rounds, and I think my last video I said I would show an update when I got a different color. I have a different color. Kind of bright. I think I'm up to close to 70 colors now. These are one of the squares I was working on previously. And blue. I think I figured I needed like 625 squares to make the size blanket that I want. And I figured once I got about 300 squares, I would start making white squares so then I can start sewing them all together, because I didn't want I wanted these colors, these squares, to be more homogenized in the blanket and not just like in groups of it. So this project is gonna take me at least a year, maybe longer. I have not been working on making the squares the last week or so because I was on vacation and decided that I was only going to concentrate on the daily reminder cross stitch piece rather than try to do a little bit of many different things every day. And then the other crochet project that I'm working on that I also haven't touched for a little bit is, and I don't think I don't have my project card with me, but I'm doing this crochet along with Kat over at Stitching with the Griffin. We're going to do 20 squares of a square from the Granny Crochet Along that was hosted by Madam Crochet. Link will be in the show notes. I can't remember. It's the name of the crochet square starts with an M. I don't remember what I've got. I do not have a whole lot of progress on this one. I've got it. No, that is a mistake. I think I had this one done already. I mean, they're all gonna look like this. Okay, I had the right side showing. There's a couple of fancy stitches on this, and I started out that I wasn't gonna do them, and then I decided, yes, they really do need to have that in order to make them pop. The goal is to reach 20 of these squares, and I'm just using worsted weight acrylic yarn that's in my stash because I wanted to really stash down this year. And sorry, the light is starting to, the sun is over that way and it's starting to shift to the front of the house. Sorry. The goal is to make 20 squares before stitching them all up. I am going to, once I make the 20 squares and I start stitching them all up, I think I'm going to put a white border around everything and then use the white to stitch everything together and then put a white border on the end. Border to be determined. So 4 squares done so far on that. I am currently holding them in this bag that I got from my friend Coggie. And if you are a knitter or a crocheter, she is going to be hosting a retreat, I think this November, over, she lives in Michigan. I don't remember the city, but it's the high fiber diet retreat. And she does a podcast as well on YouTube. So if you want to see some crafty yarny goodness, and she also spins fiber, check her out. Link to her channel will be down in the show notes. The next, okay, that's it for the crochet. Next thing I want to share with you is a sock that I've been working on very slowly since the start of the year. This is the yarn I'm using, Patton's Croy Sock yarn, in the blue striped rag colorway. I purchased, oh, I got it at Hobby Lobby. I thought I got it at Michael's. I've been working on this sock only when I'm in the car, when we're going to town, or anytime that my husband's driving. But lately, I wasn't really feeling like knitting it, so I hadn't been bringing it with me. So normally I would be a lot further along in this time frame than I am. Plus I was working with, I have Chiaogu interchangeable 9-inch needles, and the needles I was using previously were longer, and it wasn't really a delight to work with, so that kind of hindered me as well. But here I am so far. I've got 60 stitches for the leg. I'm ready to start making the heel flap. So I will actually probably do that in the house rather than try to work that in the car. So very slow progress on this one. And then the other knitting project that I have that I started sometime this year is my Armande, if I'm saying it correctly, Armande cardigan that is from knitty.com. And I've made one of these sweaters before. It's like my favorite red sweater that I wear most of the time actually. But the cuff on one, I did something and it keeps breaking and wanting to unravel. So I'm gonna have to repair it again. But this time I'm trying to knit it out of Red Heart yarn, acrylic yarn, and it is the saffron colorway, which is yellow. It's very similar to the color of the sweater of the model stitch in the photos. I am, well, I actually couldn't tell you where I am. But here, it's kind of awkward to share. Here's the front with the pocket. The hem on the bottom keeps wanting to fold up on me. I think I might have done something incorrect for the pocket. So it kind of wants to pop out. So I might tack it in a little bit, or it might come in when I take care of the back, because it's a really interesting pocket design for me. Not that I've made a lot of pockets, but I like how you make this one on so it's kind of built in rather than adding it on later. Although after this last time, I think I don't know, I struggled with this one. But I am several inches up. There is a little bit of, words are failing me right now. You do bring it in a little bit for the waist, and then you have to start increasing again to kind of bring it out. So it has a very slight fit to it, kind of like a very slight hourglass. I am on the increases part. I think I messed something up. I was happily stitching along, because you also have to keep track of your button holes, and you stop doing whatever once you reach a certain amount of buttonholes. Off the top of my head, I can't remember how many. And I think I missed a set of increases, maybe. I counted, and I think I'm like 2 stitches less than where I need to be. Yeah. So I will fudge it and make it work. But yeah, that kind of took the wind out of my sails on this one when I realized that I might have made a mistake. In the end, it'll be fine. That's what I'm telling myself, but in the meantime, I think I might have to do a better job of keeping track, because I'm at this point where you have to make the buttonhole so many rows, every so many rows, but you also have to do an increase every so many rows. And I don't recall having a problem with it the last time that I did this project. For some reason I am this time. My brain just, I'm having a hard time with the pattern. It just seems a little bit confusing to me. So that is that. I have been doing a little bit of sewing. My sister-in-law, one of my sister-in-laws, asked if I would sew her some bowl cozies. And I said, sure, let me see what I have in stash. So on the off chance that the sister-in-law who requested these bowl cozies is watching, please turn away until I say when. Okay? I had some fabric in stash that I think she will really like. I'm not going to say what kind of fabric it is, just in case, because I don't want to give it away. But I think the fabric's pretty recognizable. And each one is different. So. I swear, if that one doesn't give it away, I don't know what to tell you. So I picked 4 different fabrics, cut them all out, and so they are totally unique. Each one's different. So I did that. I just realized I didn't write down anything for that one. And at some point I was up at Hobby Lobby and I purchased fabric for making more project bags. I picked up 2 fabrics for Valentine's, and then I didn't touch any of this stuff before Valentine's, so that fabric's going into the collection until next year, or I see something that I want to use it for. I also picked up fabric for St. Patrick's Day and for Easter. And here is my St. Patrick's Day. I also, because now that I love them so much, I also included a thread bed, matching thread bed. Just, there is something so satisfying about that snap. And then, here's my Easter one with the bunnies. Oh my gosh, the bunnies are so cute. And this one has a matching thread bed as well. The ones with the glasses just crack me up. They're just so cute. So that was that. I have another sewing project in progress. I'm not going to talk about that one until it's all done because I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. And if it turns out terribly, I don't want to talk about it. So, which if it turns out terribly, it also will mean I'll need to find a place online to order the necessary materials. And I've been kind of looking for it, and I haven't come across anything really yet. So if you know of a place that sells cute vinyl for sewing, not the clear stuff, and not the clear stuff that's got like the print on it. I want like cute, colorful vinyl. Let me know, because I've tried looking online and I haven't really seen what I think I need yet. I could probably order something off of Amazon, but I don't know if it's the right thing. I tried getting something from Walmart because that's what I have available to me, and I haven't driven up to Duluth, so I can't like go hit Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't know if either one of those places would have what I'm looking for either. You know, nothing fancy, just something cute. But, you know, we'll see. It's something that I got an itch to make, and it's proving not to be quite as easy as I hoped it would be. Okay, what have I got next? Okay, I have got stuff that I received in the mail. So that one is gonna take me a second, so let me pause here. Another one of those moments where I'm not sure if I mentioned this on the channel already, or if I just shared it on social media or the blog, and that's why I think I talked about it already. But a while back, Becca over at Sandra Stitches did a giveaway on her Instagram. One was for quilting and one was for cross stitching, and I won the cross stitching. It was a goodie bag that she got from Fat Quarter Shop to host a giveaway for, so I won. And this is what was in there. Oh, I suppose I probably could have said the name, but it's kind of self-explanatory. It's a seed packet. I'm actually not sure what all the seed packet charts look like in the series. I don't watch Fat Quarter Shop as often as I used to because Furby isn't here anymore, and she's the one that was like the driving force behind having it on the TV all the time. So the next one was Penberry Farm series, Hogging Attention by Kim Deal. Very cute. I don't think that I would put it on a project bag like this though. I think I would just stitch it on Ada fabric and then maybe put that on a project bag that I make. And then the Quilted Farm Girl cross stitch by Holt. And I could see myself stitching this one up as well and changing the hair color to my hair color. And there's a lot of sheets to this chart too, so I'm guessing the chart is big. It looks like there might be a bigger size than the size of Flea Market flowers that I'm working on right now. I'm looking and pointing at it right now. That was one thing I didn't mention on that one, is that the chart is tiny. So I ended up taking a picture of it so I can blow it up and be able to count how many stitches, because I have old eyes, and even with the magnifiers, it's still a struggle, so I needed to blow it up. And then the last one I got from her is Farmyard Friends cross stitch, also by Holt. And you'll see down there that this is kitted up. I'm going to do a stitch along with Alison, and she and I have not chosen a starting date for it yet. We probably should talk about that, but both of us got kind of busy with other things and it kind of fell off my radar. But here's the colors for that one. I really like the colors. I don't know, there's something about that pink too. So my plan is to use 14 count Ada. I'm going to dye some myself. I haven't done it yet, of course. I'm thinking of a green color. I think that would help everything pop. Maybe a lighter green, maybe similar to the color that I used for my Advent piece that I worked on during Floss Tube. No, the Christmas thing. Flossmas. There we go. So that was from Sandra, and I just want to say thank you, Becca, for doing the giveaway, and to Fat Quarter Shop for sending you the goodies so that you could do the giveaway. Next is a share that I won from Janet Jabber, her channel. A few weeks ago, she decided to give away some of her mill hills, and I won one of them. I am really lucky when I think about it. I win a lot, which is awesome because it's fun getting happy mail. This is the one that I won. It was a Valentine piece. And the perforated paper is just this light pink, which I'm looking at it here now. It must be the side that I can't see has a print on it. No. Oh. I'm sorry about the crinkling. In my garden video, I was nowhere near my camera and I was closing up a bag of vermiculite and it came out so loud that it was embarrassing. No, there's nothing on that one, so maybe it's something that I have to do. I don't know. I have not stitched a mill hill yet. I purchased my very first mill hill back in December, I think. I put that in incorrectly. And then on the theme of making project bags, I ordered some fabric from Fat Quarter Shop. Okay, backtrack a little bit. Actually, okay, you know how sometimes on YouTube it'll start showing you things? Well, it started showing me a lot of stuff of Beatrix Potter. And then on Amazon, I had this book on my wish list, and then it ended up going on sale for super, super cheap. And I thought, rather than wait for somebody to give it to me, I'll just get it myself while it was on sale, because it was a really good sale. So I ended up getting this book, Knitting Peter Rabbit, 12 Toy Knitting Patterns from the Tales of Beatrix Potter. Now, I admit, I was not a Beatrix Potter person. My son was Thomas the Tank Engine when he was a wee little baby, and that's what we watched a lot of, the majority of. But I seen these and I fell in love with them and decided that I had to get the book and I have to make the patterns, which I wanted to use the call for yarn. Apparently the yarn is, you know, it's drops yarn. I cannot find a place in the US that sells it unless I wanted to go through like Amazon or Etsy or I suppose eBay, and I don't want to do that. I have to order the yarn from Wool Warehouse over in the UK. And I will say that ordering the yarn from there, even with the cost of shipping and the tariffs, is still cheaper than the equivalent, I guess, the equivalent of the alpaca yarn and the merino yarn and all that and everything from another well-known, budget-friendly online shop. And I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it's like twice the price to order it from this US-based yarn shop. And and one makes my head kind of hurt when I think about it. So I still have to order the yarn for these. I started one night and then they didn't have all the yarn, and then like the next day you must only have a certain amount of time to have the yarn in your cart before they take it out. So I said to myself, if I'm gonna knit these Peter Rabbit toys, then I need an appropriate project bag. And so that's what I did. I ordered this yarn, I ordered this fabric from Fat Quarter Shop, and it came bundled so nicely, and I am just loath to pull it apart. Okay, try to do this. So there, and then that one, this will be the inside one, the inside fabric. And then we'll be coming back to this. Where'd you go? My friend Leann owns Forbidden Fiber Co. And I think it was January, she put up a pre-order for a Winnie the Pooh box celebrating the 100th birthday of Winnie the Pooh, or 100 years of Pooh. I'm not sure which. And I was like, you know, I don't treat myself too often, and it was kind of like the magic thing, because I had a friend who absolutely loved Winnie the Pooh. Like, her son's nursery was Winnie the Pooh. She dressed him up in Winnie the Pooh stuff for Halloween for the first several years of his life, and I think she even had some kind of costume. She was a teacher, so she wore it on Halloween. And she passed away about 3 years ago. And I still think of her often. And anytime I see anything Winnie the Pooh, I think about her. So I decided that I was gonna order this. I ordered the mystery box minus the project bag, because I decided if I had to have a specific kind of project bag to go with this too. So that came last week, and this is what the chart looks like. Pooh Love. It's like sampler style. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And at the bottom it says, some people care too much. I think it's called love. So I got that. Here's the colors that came with it. And I think they're perfect. They're spot on. The fabric is an 1/8 yard of vanilla cream. And then, where'd you go? The needle minder. I love the needle minder. It's perfect. And then I also got a couple extra little flosses as a thank you. So I'm not sure when I'm going to start this one. Probably not until after I make myself the project bag. So to bring it back to the fabric that I ordered Winnie the Pooh fabric. And that has a fabric to go with it as well for the interior. I hope that showed up well. And because I am loath to pay for shipping, I ordered other fabric too. I don't know the name of the line, the fabric line, but I thought that would make a cute project bag as well. And I think I have another one here too. Yeah, I do, because I have 2 patriotic cross stitches that I want to start this year. I'd like to finish them. The closer we get to the 4th of July, the less likely that seems, because I haven't started either one of them yet. But I purchased this fabric to make a second patriotic project bag as well. That is all my haul. That's all my projects. So it was a lot of stuff in February. I wrote about this. I can't remember if I said anything in the last video, but I just felt kind of meh during February. And a lot of people, after, you know, reading what I had to say, they said they felt the same way too. And this morning I watched Leann over at Small Town Stitches, and she's kind of, I guess she said she struggled with the month of February too. And I think some things I wonder, like, is it hive mind that is just a kind of a coincidence that we're finding out about it all at the same time, or something like as I get older, or if it's just we're all feeling the same thing about things that are going on right now. But I got some sunlight this past week and I feel so much better. So maybe it was just kind of like a seasonal effectiveness thing, but I hope everybody is getting some sun and starting to feel better, that the month of February is done with. Oh boy, I've got a mess here. Let's see. Even though I said I wasn't going to update the show notes, I've got a few things here. Things that I wanted to mention. And I'm guessing this video is going to be over an hour, and I'm sorry for that, but it also has been over a month since I last recorded. Mudpuppy Stitchery, Kenzie, she's got new charts out. She has them up on her Patreon, and I don't know how her Patreon works necessarily. She puts up freebies, a freebie every month, and then she's got a chart for her Patreon members, which it's like as soon as they go up, I go and I pull them down so I don't risk losing them. But definitely check her out because she does some really nice charts of birds. Let's see, Jess over at Loomy Stitches. She has been on a design kick and she's been posting some really cute charts up on her Ko-Fi shop. Link for that along with Kenzie's Patreon and Etsy, that'll all be in the show notes. Let's see, life, well, nothing very exciting. I made it through the sub-zero temperatures, which I know like 5-6 years ago we had some seriously cold temperatures, and I keep that in mind. So the cold temperatures we had were not nearly as cold as the ones from back then. Started the gardening stuff. I purchased my first seeds of the season. And let's see, at the time I wrote this, I was watching a few documentary channels over on YouTube. It was YouTubers in Siberia, and that was like really interesting. I think those came on while the sub-zero temperatures were happening here. So it was fascinating to see how people live in temperatures that stay like -20, -30, -40 pretty consistently. If I find them, I'll put the link to them in the show notes. Well, I guess that's it for this episode. I thought I had something more to say, but I didn't finish the notes when I was writing them, so I can't. I'll have to wait for the next episode, which I hope will not be nearly as long in between as this one and the previous one. Like I said last week, I was on vacation for the majority of the week, and my husband had most of the week off too. And I think just not having to work and telling myself that it's okay to not do some of the crafty things that I felt like I should be doing, and then just sunshine. I mean, I just feel so much better. So I'm kind of hoping that from here on out, it's just kind of like up, 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 up. Physically, I'm feeling a whole lot better. I end up putting a call to the doctor and going and seeing them, and they put me on a different med that is helping tremendously. So I'm feeling a lot better and I'm moving a lot more. And when you feel better and can move more, then you feel better from moving more, and that helps you feel better too. So I'm really looking forward to fun activities this spring, like bike riding and kayaking, and I know even rototilling the garden, because last year I remember rototilling, but I don't remember how well I handled it. So I'm just looking forward to being active, especially after a winter where we didn't have anything really to do. The last few years we've had semi-loads of wood brought in for us to cut and split and stack. And that was like our big way of staying somewhat active during the winter, so we weren't just lumps in the house staring at the TV and getting stiff joints. So yeah, it's just been, I'm feeling very optimistic and looking forward to what I could be doing in the next month or so. Hopefully no more snow. Temperatures kind of stay creeping up and the snow melts, although right now we have ice, a lot of ice right now from the last time it was so sunny out, and then it was kind of like made a crust of ice on top of the snow, so it's a little treacherous to walk in a few places. And I think I'm doing the Midwestern goodbye right now. So until next time, happy stitching, do what you love, and if you aren't feeling it, try something else. Bye.